Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Glossy Philosophy. My name is Jansen Binman and today you are tuned in for two different looks. You are tuned in for a look that is going to be great for going to the beach and is super minimal with minimal products, and one that is kind of this look, which is you are going to the beach or you're going on other warm destinations, but your face isn't going to get wet from either the pool or from the ocean. So stay tuned. Let's get started with the tutorial. I've washed my face, I've done my skincare, and now it is time to do the minimal products that we are doing as we are going to the beach, or maybe just a more casual hang around day in your warm destination. Now let's just get a few things out of the way. Number one, when I'm filming this, which is actually quite a bit early compared to when it's getting posted, it is negative outside in the Midwest. So that is why I am wearing a little bit more coverage. So don't let that distract you. And I always wonder sometimes when people are talking about specific things, why are they dressed like that? That is why. I'm just trying to stay warm. Number two, if you are going to the beach, we are going to kind of do a beach scenario, and then we're going to amp it up just a little bit. So let's get started. For me, even if I am going to the beach and even if I am going to get in the water, I'm not going to be swimming. I'm not going to be surfing. So my face isn't really going to be getting wet. What I'm going to be doing is walking on the beach, hanging out with the kiddos, maybe going in the water like up to my waist or something like that. So I'm still going to do just a little bit of makeup. It makes me feel a little bit more put together. It just makes me a little bit happier. So we're going to start with some Corrector from Bobbi Brown in Bisque. And a lot of this is going to be fingers because we are going quickly. We can hear the ocean calling us and we want to go. Or we can hear that people are getting excited and they're like, "Mama, mama, let's go." So we just want to do it very quickly. I'm using my ring finger because your ring finger is your weakest finger, and even if it's not, even if you are a professional piano player, you know how to control your fingers, so just use your ring finger. We're going to go in with a little bit of concealer, again starting on that inner corner because we want to make sure that we look well rested. And you know what, if you're on vacation, you're probably going out for breakfast in some kind of capacity. So I think it's nice just to do a little bit of makeup. And obviously underneath all of this you would have your sunscreen on. Some of my favorites are Supergoop and Shiseido. I feel like they just do some of the best jobs, especially going underneath makeup. If you are not a makeup wearer, then you can really just do anything you want. I think it's Supergoop who also makes a powder, and Peter Thomas Roth who also makes a powder SPF, which is really nice to throw on again as you continue to be outside, because sunscreen, just as a side note, really they say only lasts for about 2 hours. So you need to reapply. Even if you're under that cabana in your fabulous sun hat with your sunnies, please reapply if you are spending all day outside. Your skin will thank you in 5, 10, 15 plus years, okay? All right, so we have the under eye taken care of. Now you can just very quickly judge, do you feel like you need foundation? Do you want to? How wet are you going to get? I'm going to do just a little bit of foundation, and I'm actually just going to use my fingers. If I feel like I need to use a brush, then I will. So I'm kind of treating my fingers as the brush. So I'm placing it in the same spots that I normally would. Kind of doing some dots, and then I'm going to blend out. By doing this, I'm almost treating my foundation like a tinted moisturizer. So a brush it'll give you like a cleaner look. It'll give you a little bit more of a professional look, but when you're on vacation, sometimes it's nice to just use fingers especially if, you know, packing all those brushes can really take up a lot of room. I feel like I always need an extra bag for all my beauty stuff. But if I know I'm just going to be hanging out on the beach or something, then maybe I don't want to bring all of my brushes. And then you can really just pare it down to your eyeshadow brushes, which are really teeny tiny. So the key with putting your foundation on with your fingers is not only to do like these kinds of motions where you're doing the sweeping and then also the patting, but it's also super important that you are well moisturized. If you are trying to do this on skin that's a little dry from either the sun, from age, from your skin type, whatever, it's not going to work very well. So you have to have super, super moisturized skin. Okay, if you are able to bring a brush, you can go with something like this, or you can go with my new obsession, which is my duo fiber brush. And just do a quick finish. So again, you're looking really good for breakfast. Maybe you're staying at a resort. And all the other moms are like, how does she do it? Okay. Now we're going to go in with a little bit of highlighter because, as we know, a little bit of highlighter is something really special for yourself, and it just gives you a really nice glow. So again, you could use your fingers, but I'm going to go in with my duo fiber because my fingers are starting to feel a little plugged with product. If I had a towel down here, then I would absolutely just wipe them off and use my fingers. But alas, my towel is upstairs. And then just a quick pat. Okay, so the skin is looking really healthy, really good. These are the eyeshadows I brought down. Only 3, and 2 of them are for my brows. So they can use as double purpose, and maybe you're just going to bring actual brow product instead of filling in with powders, and that would definitely take up a little bit less room. So I'm going to fill in my brows, and it's all a matter of just kind of assessing, like, what do you need? How much time do you have? If you only have 5 minutes, I say go clean skin, fill in those brows, and if you want to throw on some mascara. Lip gloss for me is a must, but I can always just throw that in my bag and put that on later. Plus I put on some lip balm this morning already, so I'm feeling alright. Okay, brows are filled in, again, very minimally, very quickly with Sandstone Brun, and then we are going to start kind of finishing up the complexion for those days when you're just hanging out on the beach, you're going for walks, and you're not really getting in the water. If I was getting in the water, I honestly probably wouldn't powder, because if you have too many products on the skin, makeup obviously is going to be moving, you're going to be sweating a little bit because it's going to be nice and hot and warm, and getting product in your eye does not feel very good. So think about that before you get in the water. If you're wearing mascara, it stings. It stings when it gets in your eye from either chlorine from the resort pool or from salty water. So seriously, go minimal if you're going to be actually swimming and getting your face wet. Otherwise, you can kind of glam it up a little bit. So I'm going to set with my pale yellow powder. And I'm just in and I'm getting out. I'm manipulating my brush to either kind of mimic that BK Beauty smaller powder brush, or I'm using it full force. All right, now we're going to do a little bronzer. So I wear quite a bit of sunscreen when I'm out in the sun. NATASHA DENONA, and is the bronzer that I'm using, not the sunscreen. And I never really get that healthy glow anymore. So it's kind of nice to go to vacation with a little bit of a healthy glow and continue that as you are having some fun. So I don't want to spend too much time because, again, we're on vacation. We want to get to the vacating part of our vacation. We don't want to spend a ton of time on our makeup, or maybe we're going to a theme park or we're going shopping, something like that, souvenir shopping, seeing the sights. It's just nice to have a little bit of a glow. So I am going to spend a little bit more time putting the product down, especially on my forehead, because that's what's going to hit first. It's not going to be underneath your cheekbones, even though that looks so pretty. It's going to be your forehead, it's going to be your nose, and a little bit on your chin. All right, here is the key to not bringing lots of eyeshadows. Use your powders as your eyeshadows. Use your blush, use your bronzer. You're good to go. All right, but before we do that, we should probably prep our eyes. So again, not getting in the water today, just amping up a really natural, fun look. For shopping days or, you know, basically any non-water activities. Walking along the beach. Okay, I just did my Rock and Kohl from Charlotte Tilbury, and now I'm going to do my NARS primer. This has a ton of silicone. It dries down pretty quick. Not so quick that you couldn't manipulate it right away after, but you don't have to worry about having it set like a liquid or cream shadow before you go in with more. If you're really worried about it, take that pale yellow powder and just dust on top if you're like, just go, go, go. Okay, we're going to take our 201 from BK Beauty. We're going to go back in with our bronzer. We're going to go on that outer third and then up into the socket and just a little bit above. The awesome thing about using your bronzer is that you already have bronzer on the face. So your face starts to look super cohesive because you're using the same shades and tones everywhere, and it's like the most natural way of doing your makeup. Instead of grabbing an eyeshadow that kind of mimics your bronzer, just grab your bronzer. It's totally fine. Start thinking about powders as powders, unless they specifically say like not to be used on the eyes, which I have seen, then, you know, it should be okay as long as you're not like sticking it in your eye. All right, so that just gives a really pretty natural socket, little pretty definition. If you want more definition, go in with a 217, go in back into the bronzer. Because this brush is a little bit more dense, it's going to give you a little bit more pigment. So the exact same thing, exact same bronzer, but look, now it is building up just a little bit more simply because I've changed my brush. That is the power of brushes, and that is why it is key to use the correct brush for what you're looking for. Okay, so if I was going to the beach and not going in the water, I would finish off with gloss. This is Songbird from Lisa Eldridge. I feel like I want a little bit of a liner. I'm going to go back in with a pencil brush in Brun, which is something that I put in my brows, and I'm just going to create a soft line with my pencil brush and the shadow. Again, a shadow is not going to stay like a traditional liner, but for breakfast, for lunch, for just walking around, I think it's really a pretty way to go. Especially if you did decide to go with that Woodwinked. I think it's just so nice. Okay, again, we're not going in the water, so we are going to add a primer. If you are going in the water, please use waterproof mascara, because trust me when I tell you, it does not feel good to get mascara in your eye from a wave. All right, so we're just going for it. This is our vacation glam look. So it's kind of like 2 looks in one, right? We can stop right after the bronzer, throw on that lip gloss, run out to the beach, have a great time, or we can add a little bit extra because we're going sightseeing, going other places. So just making sure all my lashes are nice and coated. I only do the top. I very rarely do my lower lashes with the primer. And then we're going to go in with Smoky Mascara, which does kind of feel almost like a waterproof mascara. And just cleaning off any excess. Getting right into the roots. And I'm rotating my brush as I'm pulling up. You can always kind of just blink through the mascara one too. As always, you'll kind of know when your lashes have taken that last coat and you shouldn't add any more. You are entering into dangerous territory. Okay. All right. And that is the finished look. Thank you guys so much for watching this tutorial. I feel like it was really 2 looks in one. One, you're going to the beach and you're probably going to get wet, and one, you are hanging out on the beach and not necessarily going in the water or for any of your other fun activities that you're doing in your warm destination. So again, play with color, play with your other powders that you're bringing, and try to minimize that packing, because I know I am guilty of overpacking the beauty and then I only wear half of it because we're just go, 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 go. So thank you again for watching. I do beauty videos every Friday, fashion videos every Wednesday, and Mondays I'm tackling very specific things, especially in the month of March. So hit that subscribe button and hit the thumbs up, and I'll see you very soon in the next video. Bye!